pushed. We are being pushed by the police right now, Amitosh. If you can see, these are the cops pushing us off. They're using full force. There's a stampede here. Thousands and thousands of protesters who are being pushed by the NYPD. Behind me right now, you can see us being pushed, the entire crowd. Our camera is being pushed, the steel barricade is moving behind us. This is the full force of NYPD and the protesters are not having this. We are pushing back our camera. We are losing this. We are trying to get you shots. We are trying to get you these shots. The protesters are pushing back towards them. This is a big clash between the protesters and the police taking place, and the protesters don't want to move. For a while right now, the protests have been peaceful, as more than 10,000 people all across New York City have gathered here, walked from places like Union Square as well as Columbus Circle to this Trump Tower in Manhattan, where Donald Trump lives and where he began his presidential campaign. The protests have been peaceful, mostly millennial voters, young people trying to exercise their right of free speech. But right now what you witnessed was the police, without warning, deciding to push the steel barricades against these people, using a lot of force. Okay, someone's being crushed. There is a scuffle. Oh my God! Oh my God! Fuck!
Back off! Back off!
Okay, stop it! We are
Give up!
We are moving! You can't
Back
do
off
this!
now!
Well, you can see our colleague Namrata Brar there in New York and Manhattan. There are protests going on there. She is trying to talk to us. Obviously, the line is getting disturbed. Let's try and listen to what she's saying right now.
This is turning violent, Amitosh. This is turning violent.
Namrata, if it is turning violent, we suggest you please get out of there if it is turning violent.
Unprecedented, the warning. We've had no warning of this. Shame on you! Authority. Shame on you! Yeah, this is police brutality right now because there was no proper warning. Shame on you! Okay. We're going to move across. We're going to move a little away. We don't want to be involved in this. We are merely reporting what we are seeing. We are not trying to send out a political message. But what we witnessed was a very aggressive police move against peaceful protesters right now. There was no public warning given. I never heard the police tell us on loudspeakers to move away. The media has been reporting this for a while right now. I've been here for several hours and this has been widely reported on multiple news channels. But this tussle between the police and the protesters, which we witnessed, we are moving away from this scene right now. But we were right in the midst of this and being pushed on both ends as this massive clash takes place, and indicative of what a Donald Trump presidency perhaps means for America. The sharp divide and anger which is tearing the country apart is being reflected on the first day of his presidency. There was a message sent out by President Obama as well as fellow rival Hillary Clinton that America should have an open mind and try and accept him and give him a chance. Now, America also has a right to free speech and a right to raise their voices. And it seems that this healing of this gaping wound is going to take a very long time. If indeed the protests that we witness right now and the clash that we witness between law enforcement and protesters right now are indicative of what possibly could be an explosive presidency. At the Trump Tower in Manhattan with camera person Ethan Blum, this is Namrata Brar for NDTV.
And Namrata, you're still there with us. We're going to come back to you because of all that's happening there. Take a breather for a minute. But specifically, if you can just go back to the pictures of what we were trying to show you, this has been a developing story. We've been watching from the morning that there have been protests, not just in that area where Namrata was in Manhattan, in New York, but also in other areas of America. We talked about Seattle, where there has been a shooting that the Seattle police is not willing right now to link to the Trump or anti-Trump protests, but also in UK we've had protests. You're also seeing the pictures right now what Namrata is talking about. And if Namrata, if you can hear me, I just would like you to give us a sense of the other media that is there. What are they doing? Is there in fact any other media that is actually watching on and tracking the situation, or was it just you right there in the middle? And also the number of policemen that were there, if you can tell us.
Right, Amitoj, we are going to first show you the picture because this divide still stands. You can see the protesters and the police officers there. There is media, there is other media here, but not so much. And at least on my vantage point, I can see two cameras, two TV cameras on that side. I don't know which news outlet they belong to, but I don't see massive mainstream media. I think they're taking pictures from cameras which are there on buildings as well as the aerial spaces. Now, in terms of police force, there's an incredible amount of police force here outside Trump Tower. It has become a virtual fortress and a wall of security around Trump Tower in Manhattan. To my count, at least on this block, this is just one block from 56th to 57th Street on 5th Avenue in Manhattan. There must have been at least 120 police officers approximately. There is also a long line of garbage trucks which are surrounding that entire Trump Tower entrance. This is a security measure to prevent trucks driving into the space for the possibility of some kind of violent crime. So this is intensified. This is something we reported even on the day of the elections, that there's a massive security precaution outside Trump Tower. And rightfully so, because he is the president-elect of the United States and he was elected by the electoral process, which is a legitimate process. But what we are reporting here is that there was no warning given for these people to move on a megaphone at least. I've been here for a while right now. If there was a warning given, it might have been given to specific people close to the police line. But we never heard it. And it was a very peaceful process. We've actually reported this live multiple times. I'm going to ask my camera person to keep showing you the pictures and really focus on the intensity of the situation here. Because while we were doing our live reports, there was no move by the police. The police had been generally silent. You could see essentially no expression on their faces. They weren't talking much, but they were all right with the peaceful protest. There was no move even to suggest that you should not be here or you should move your cameras from this place. In fact, we spoke with them in my background a couple of times and nobody raised an issue there. But this situation has escalated. Whether or not this was escalated because a protester did something, I do not know, so I have to be accurate in my reporting. Whether the protesters initiated something which could have provoked the authorities and somebody made a move, I did not see it, but it could well have happened. If that's happened, that's a legitimate concern, and out of security measure, they would do it. But if that incident did not happen, it is questionable, and I think we all have a right to question why that sudden use of force by the police against these peaceful protesters. Most of them are young kids. They are about 20 to 25 years old. So this is a very young audience. College students who have left their colleges. There are reports that in America there won't be even some exams tomorrow. So people are just coming in a demonstration of opinion. And it's a time perhaps which is a difficult time for many Americans, as they are saying that Hillary Clinton won the popular vote. So you can imagine the kind of support she as well has. And I'm going to keep asking my camera person to keep showing you those pictures. And you can tell me when you would like to come back to the studio. But till then, we are going to try and get you as much color. Can you tell me what happened to you? What happened to me? I'm just protesting right now against Donald Trump's presidency. Yeah, they pushed back. Actually, when we first tried to even join the protest, everything was blocked off. We had to walk blocks and blocks down to even join the protest in the beginning. Then they started pushing everyone back just now. Like, yeah. I didn't hear if they gave a warning. I think they were just pushing people back. Yeah, I'm not positive, but yeah.
I know. We were actually in the close in front of the line. We were trying to see if we could go back and ask.
And this is how you gotta get into it.
Did the police push you right now?
Yeah.
Did they go?
There was no warning. A lot of protesters were hurt. They had rows of police just pushing the barricades back.
Why do you think that was the case? Because you were.
There was no case. There was no violence.
Did a protester do something?
No, it was not. There was no instigation by anyone on the protesting side. It is all of the cops.
And were you pushed as well, physically pushed by the police?
Yeah, I was pinned up against the front. You can't do that. We're peaceful protesters. This block's already shut down. It's going on midnight. You can keep Fifth Avenue closed for a little bit longer. There's no need to do any type of violence like they're doing now.
You think the police acted? This was police brutality you saw right now?
People got hurt.
Were you there in front? Did you get pushed?
Yes.
Did you hear something? Why they were asking you to leave, or they were?
No, there was no words. They just started pushing. No reasons. They just said, get back.
But did you hear a message that you have to move, or it happened all of a sudden?
People just started pushing. I didn't hear any warning or like nothing.
It was all physical.
No one in the crowd people with a megaphone that you have to get away from here.
None.
Was anyone hurt?
No,
Not that we
saw.
No, I didn't see it.
That we saw.
So no police officer was hurt by a protester or some.
I don't think that's what this is about.
We can avoid that.
Yeah.
You're just raising your voice here.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're not here to like. There's no reason for any more violence.
Absolutely.
Okay, there are some reports as well that there were 4 people hurt in Seattle. So, were you pushed just now?
Yeah, I was pushed by the police. No reason at all, no warning. They're trying to gain control over Fifth Avenue, I think. So they just pushed everybody in. That's what it appeared to be to me. I don't know.
Did they make an announcement?
No announcement at all.
Did a protester do something against the police?
No.
Was it an act of provocation, a security threat perhaps?
Well, the person that was protesting said something to the officer, and the officer said, well, get him.